Hi friends, thanks for joining me on my channel today. Today I've got another layout to share with you. This one is entitled Berry Sweet. And so if you saw my haul video from a couple videos back, I placed an order with Felicity Jane, and I should say I finally placed an order with Felicity Jane after wanting to do so for a few years already, and I'm just now doing so. But I ordered a few of their kits, and this one that I'm using today is the July Amanda kit. And it's got a ton of like muted blues and greens with their signature black and white. And so I thought that it would be perfect to document this photograph here. And so I'm starting out with a white piece of 110-pound heavy cardstock. And I'm just doing my usual watercolor technique on it. I'm just taking a wet brush and some watercolor and then dabbing off the extra. This is the trio of photographs that I'm going to be scrapping, and it's of my daughter who absolutely adores raspberries, and we have a raspberry bush in our backyard, and every year she calls dibs and doesn't share the raspberries with anybody else. And so I decided that I wanted to create a watercolor background that was going to sit underneath a cut file. And so this is the background all dry. I added my splatters. Now that blush pink paper that you see in the background is one of the solid cardstocks from Felicity Jane. And I am just putting my background paper on top of that. It dried a little uneven and wonky, but that's because it's watercolor and that's what it does. And so don't be afraid to add extra glue and just secure everything down. Make sure you've got all the edges and corners glued down securely. And I placed my paper on it it's not straight, and that was purposely done that way. And so it's a little, I'll use the word again, wonky, and a little off kilter, but that's what I wanted, and that's what I did. I think it looks pretty cool like that. And so that is the cut file that I'm using. It is from the Silhouette Design Store. And I just looked up berry, or yeah, I think it was a berry wordage. And so this is what came out. This is what came listed. And it actually had a strawberry attached to it. And in this case, they're raspberries my daughter's eating. So I just, in Silhouette Studio, released the compound path and then ungrouped the elements and removed the strawberry and just used the title as it was. Very sweet. I think it still looks really great, and I love the way it turned out. The papers itself are from the kit as well, and I just cut those out with my Silhouette Cameo as well. Now here you see that I am backing the cut file with some dimensional foam. And I like to do this because I like to add dimension on my layouts, and what better way to do that than with, popping up your title and popping up your picture. Now, like I've said in previous videos before, I do not mind at all the bulk in my albums. I actually prefer the definition, and I really prefer the layers versus them just being very flat. It's just my style, and it's what I like. Now, if you're someone who doesn't like dimension in their books and they like to keep everything relatively flat, then just go ahead and omit this step. If you don't like it, you don't like it. I just used my hot glue gun there to secure the foam to the paper. And that's the trio of photos that I'm using. That sweet little mug of hers. Don't let her cuteness fool you. She's a savage when it comes to raspberries and does not share, not even with mama. So I'm just matting my photographs now with some cardstock from the collection. As you can see there, it's the same cardstock that I used to paper piece my cut file. And I'm just using pieces, some of the pieces are empty. Some of the papers are empty in the back. There isn't anything actually there, but I just need the edges to show. The papers in this collection are very muted. So on screen, they're looking a little brighter than they actually are in real life, but I assure you that this collection is a bit more muted in color. It's funny the way cameras do that sometimes. Anyway, so I'm just choosing some papers from the collection to mat my my photographs. And in this case, I'm using a trio of pictures. And the back two will not be popped up on dimensionals. Instead, when I place that third one in between the two anchor ring photographs, you'll see that I add some dimensional foam behind them, behind that one there. And that's so that that middle picture really stands out. Well, I should say that it stands out a little more than the others. I wanted that center photograph to be a little different and matted a little differently. So as you can see here, I just took some different cardstock and used that to mat my photograph. Now the dimensional foam that I use is from Michaels. I got an entire pack, I think of 50 or 100 sheets, I don't even remember now, but I think after all was said and done, after using a coupon, I think I must have paid like under $10, and I've been using it for years already, and I use it on every single layout. So just to secure things, because I do have watercolor underneath those photographs, I went ahead and along with my ATG glue, I also used some hot glue. Now I'm going to take the same hot glue and I'm going to glue down my cut file, and that is my title, so Berry Sweet. And I really like the way the sharp white contrasts against the blue watercolor that I have laid down on that background. Also, as far as this kit goes, I did pick up 2 pieces of the ephemera, just because I embellish heavily when it comes to my layouts, and I knew that I'd want to pick up an extra piece of package of ephemera for this entire collection. So there was that tassel banner in the ephemera pack, and I decided that I was going to use the other one that was in the other ephemera pack as well. And how many times can I say ephemera? There I have that tag there. It says life. I'm not really interested in what it says, but I do want to use it as a layering piece, so I just snip it in half, and the other half I can use for another layout, and the other piece goes behind my photograph, and I'm going to be hot gluing that down in just a second. Right now I'm just shopping through the ephemera pieces, trying to find what works. And I'm liking what I'm doing so far. I'm taking that tab and that tab punch, and it's going to go above the center picture there. There's also those banner ribbons that I really like as well. So that little ticket there, I originally had the one that said today, but I decided that summer was definitely a better fit, because what's more summer than berries? So the Amanda kit from Felicity Jane also included some very cute and dainty florals. And you're going to see here that I tuck in a few behind my title. And I'm really liking this kind of mustardy, very subdued yellow as my accent color. So that's what you see popping in and around my layout there. That's the color that I chose to be more of an accent color. So I'm still trying to add more florals, deciding that it doesn't need. Some of those hearts are just so adorable. It's hard not to use the entire package of ephemera on one layout. I really have to control myself because I'm not usually a cleaner scrapbooker where, minimalistic in my approach. I'm definitely, heavy-handed when it comes to embellishing, and that's just my style. So now I'm taking some Heidi Shine and adding some gold loving around the page, and I call it done. This is my layout. I hope you guys enjoyed watching my video. Thank you so much for watching and your kind comments and subscribing. Thank you for sticking around. I really enjoy you guys being here and reading all your comments. If you haven't taken a moment to subscribe, please consider doing so. And we'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.